Nintendo Entertainment System. It debuted in North America in 1985, and it's probably the single reason why we have video games today. Why is that? Now, most kids today take video games for granted. They're picky about them. They voice their opinions way too much, I think. But they took the fun out of what used to be a video game. Now, back when the Nintendo came out, video games were banned. Nobody liked video games. Why is that? Because the Atari 2600 had great success. Yes, that is true. But the market got overflooded with Intellivision, ColecoVision, all kinds of replica video game systems of the 2600, and the Atari system itself, came out with the 5200, which was a bomb. The 7800, which wasn't that great. They just couldn't live up to what the 2600 had. And we're not going to get into the Atari Jaguar, but so in 1983, the gaming industry looked pretty bleak. Video games looked like they were dead. Then a company in Japan named Nintendo decided they were going to bring video games to America. And everybody thought they'd lost their mind. Did you not hear what happened to Atari? They went out of business making video games. That is true. So Nintendo tried not to be Atari. They wanted their own Pacific system to do whatever. Alright, so they came to America in 1984, debuted their system. Investors didn't like it, stores didn't like it, they didn't want it in their stores. Couldn't sell it. They didn't like the look of it. It came with a bunch of accessories that nobody wanted to carry. So Nintendo went back to the drawing board, and they came back with this gray and white box we see now. And, it fits in your living room. It fits right in. It doesn't stick out. They want something comfortable that can fit in your living room, so this is what they came up with. And it came bundled with Rob the Robot, which I don't have. It's a little robot. It had 2 games with it. It was a failure. But Nintendo, they didn't skyrocket right off the bat. It took a while. They didn't do it across North America. They did a few states like New York, California, big states. They said if it did good in California, New York, Texas, all that, they would expand nationwide. Alright, so in 1985 it was a slow start, but the Nintendo changed video game history forever because it took what we imagined as a video game and broadened it from the 2600 that we were used to seeing dots on the screen, little stick figures walking across the screen. Now we got Mario, who actually looks like an 8-bit human sort of, with a red hat. But it was mind-blowing at the time. Kids today look at Super Mario Brothers on the NES and they like, who used to play this stuff? Well, that stuff there is the reason we have video games today. So Nintendo, this is one of their carts. This little gray. Most kids today have not seen an NES cart. They don't know how to put it in the system. If you don't believe me, go to some channel on YouTube where kids react to stuff, and they react to Nintendo. They couldn't even start it up, much less beat a game. That's the thing about Nintendo. These games were challenging. I can't think of one easy game there was on the Nintendo. Not that I played when I was a kid. They were all hard. Battletoads, Super Mario Brothers, challenging. It's not hard, but it was challenging. You had Mega Man, the one I'm holding now. These games will question your sanity. They are brutal hard. Now, it's not brutal hard like Battletoads, but nevertheless, they're still pretty challenging but fun games. So that's what Nintendo wanted. They wanted a challenging, fun game that the family could play. They would love. And you have games like Super Mario Brothers, Mega Man. You had Super Mario 3. You had all kinds of games. Duck Hunt. Let me see if I can find that. They also debuted this gun right here. This little orange zapper. Everybody's favorite accessory. Shoot a lot of ducks with these. That was everybody's favorite game. You ask anybody what they played on the Nintendo? Duck Hunt. Everybody's played Duck Hunt. So after a while, Nintendo caught on, and eventually they went nationwide. Everybody had Nintendo. Now, playing the game is a challenge, but getting it to work is a challenge all itself. Now, I already got the game in there set up so I wouldn't have to fool with it during this video because it's going on long enough now. But what you do is you turn on your TV and you would slide this gray cartridge right here into Nintendo face side up like that. Just slide it into Nintendo like that and push it down. Then you press the power button. And there we have it. We have a video game. Now, see, it's pretty simple, right? But sometimes you get this number. The screen flashing, nothing there. See the red dot flashing? Your worst nightmare. So people instantly thought that blowing on the game was a quick fix. Now, actually, there was a flaw with Nintendo. See, I can't get it to come on now. It's a 72-pin connector that the connections on the game itself connect to. And sometimes those connectors would stretch out, wouldn't make good contact with the game. So therefore, that's what led to the flashing, blinking light. Yeah, the game could be dirty, but 95% of the time, it's a 72-pin connector. Alright, that being said, that's what everybody would do that. Blow in the game. If it don't work, blow in it. Works every time. And sometimes you'll blow yourself till you pass out. Don't take that personal. And don't take that sexually. Alright. So that was the Nintendo Entertainment System as a whole. It was a good system. Like I said, it was 5th on the active longing list of video game systems ever made, which tells you that it was indeed a good console. It lasted from 1985 to 1995 in North America. 10 years. And as far as I know, besides the PlayStation 2, it has the longest library of games I've ever seen. You know, it's very rare you see everybody who has every single Nintendo game, because they just made so many. And that's another thing. But today, you buy a game, you gotta buy map packs, DLC, anything. After you pay $60 for the game. But these, no. Once you bought them, that's it. There is no DLC. There is no map pack. If this game's glitched up, it's glitched up. That's just the way it is. But that's what made it fun about Nintendo, because you never knew what you were going to get from a game. It could be the best game in the world, or it could be a glitched up mess. Just like E.T. on the Atari. But that's basically it. I just wanted to share with you the history of Nintendo, give you a little insight of what it meant for us as kids growing up, playing the Nintendo. That was the most awesome feeling. Then you got your dad in there. He's in there. He's got his own set of Nintendo games, like Bayou Billy. He played that a lot. F-Zero. He played that. Well, that was on Super Nintendo. He played that a lot. Super Mario Brothers. I'll tell you one thing. My brother and my dad took a bet one time on Super Mario Brothers. Who can get the furthest? $5, I think it was, or maybe it was $50. Dad went through the game, beat it. All 8 levels, never died once. Then my brother went up, beat the game too. So, that shows you how addicting they are. They sat down and beat 8 levels of Super Mario Brothers, both of them. So, great time. Maybe you have a great time with your NES system. Maybe you want to share it. I don't know. I say the greatest time I've had with the NES is probably when I beat Ninja Gaiden. I beat Ninja Gaiden for the first time, Ninja Gaiden 1. I was so excited because I played that game for months and months and months, and a month turned into a year, and I still haven't beat that game. And finally, I beat all three of the bosses. Now, you gotta beat all three of the bosses. If you beat one and die on the other, you start way back at the beginning. It would frustrate you to no end. And I finally beat it. It was the most awesome feeling I ever felt in the world because I knew I beat a game that most people have never beaten before in their life. So I guess it made me feel accomplished. Okay, well, that's all I got. See you guys later.